a hitman objective.
Sounds like
All right.
some. Go ahead.
3, 2, 1, action. Hey, gentlemen.
Bonjour.
Hello.
You just
So-
spray some act in his eyes.
Aye.
It's what you gotta do to be a Feta-Zeta male.
Welcome back to the Feta-Zeta podcast, episode 2, everyone. This is our special Christmas episode, I must say. We've actually got a very special guest for you all today. You want to introduce him for us, Yusuf?
Yeah, the guest for today's video, his name is Mr. Noah. You know, Noah, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little something about yourself.
I go by many names. Mr. Noah is indeed one of them. Young Sheldon, the science guy, the jongleur. I mean, basically any name you can think of, it ties back to me in some way.
Some way. There's always a way.
Especially BBL Drizzy.
Oh yeah,
It's
he would know.
One of
He
your
would
more
know.
titles. I would. So Noah, what he specializes in? Noah specializes in the sciences. And today we brought Noah onto the podcast to, just nerd everywhere, nerd all over the place. But mainly to tell us a little bit about the science of Christmas.
Christmas.
Actually.
For those of you who don't know, Yusuf's actually a Muslim, so he has a hard time with stuff like this. So
Couldn't be me.
You guys talking about Christmas? That's not even funny, man.
sorry.
From the hit game, playtime. Not even funny.
We are not talking about them right now. It's not about them. It's all about Jesus Christ and his birth. Isn't it, Noah?
Well, did you know Jesus? I need
Is
to
the
fact
right
check
coming
this,
with
but I heard a rumor that Jesus, the top J,
J-Dog.
was actually born in the month of March rather than December, and for some odd reason they celebrated his birthday on the 25th of December, even though his birthday is in March, which that's a rumor. I actually need to fact check that, and give me a second while I Google it.
All right, Noah. So obviously we all know he's wrong, but you know how Jesus keeps coming back over and over again, and we keep making holidays.
Just like Slim Shady.
That's
Just
exactly.
like that.
I'm not even kidding. That's exactly what I was gonna say. What do you guys think about Slim Shady coming back? What do you think about his new song, Houdini? Can't believe you read my mind there. So
I actually found out his song was actually against people trying to get him canceled. I didn't know that's what his song was. I thought the song was so goofy, bro.
Yeah, so actually, Jesus' birthday is not exactly known, but it's been estimated to be about March, and the reason we celebrate on the 25th of December is because it was decided by early Christians because it aligned with more other pagan holidays that were near the winter solstice.
Oh, so basically,
It brings
they didn't care about accuracy as much as they cared about convenience.
Well, it is. Never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't want to upset some of our audience with that joke. To clarify, that would have been what I was going to say, a joke, and not that I really believe.
All
I
I'm
have
saying,
to clarify that.
all I'm gonna say is, Jesus didn't have 4 wives, unlike the top M.
Even though with that beard, he could have.
Oh yeah, but do you guys think Jesus was black or white, or Yusuf colored?
Well, it's actually believed that Jesus was of a darker skin color, maybe not fully black in the sense like deep African heritages are typically, but it's believed that he wasn't white either. He was more of a mid-tone.
So
It's gonna
lucid
sound
colored.
like, yeah, he was a bit darker. That sounds racist, but I'm not being racist. It was just
Just like
Not
this
yet.
actual. He's
We have to
believed.
give you
Nah, yeah.
a few more drinks first before the racism really
Oh yeah,
comes
I'm
out.
I think
Hey,
Jesus takes a
cheers.
lot from. I think he takes a lot from, and I hate to be repetitive here, but I think he takes a lot from my transgender cat, Siamese.
Does it like
Who,
identify as black but act Chinese?
yeah, exactly.
Yo, mine does too.
It's like that
No,
name carries a sort of,
so my transgender cat is Siamese, obviously, but
yeah.
it identifies as black and acts Chinese. And if I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I think you're putting it down for sure, you're trying to say that Jesus, or as they would call him in Sao Paulo, Christ the Redeemer, is like a transgender cat? What do you mean by
No,
that?
that's not at all what I'm putting down. What I'm trying to say is,
Are you putting the cat down?
if you're picking up what I'm putting down, I'm making a yo mama joke.
Your mom is so cat?
That your mom was so old, she met Jesus. Never
Your
mind. That
your
would.
mama's so fat, not even Santa could fit her in his sack.
Speaking of which, you see, this is why we brought this guy onto the podcast. That's all I'm saying.
Wait the other way.
I'm
The
over
other,
here for my view.
look the other way. It's
You're over
this
there.
way.
Yeah.
You know
He's
he's
over
over
here.
there for me. You'll all see.
He's over.
Oh, well,
He's
you
over
can't see
there.
my arms because I'm outside like Yusuf here. Because the darkness, it consumes my arms, clearly.
Oh.
And it brings us to a harsh discussion of how does Santa Claus traverse the world?
I'd argue that he doesn't.
Because
Wow.
I've hunted a lot of reindeer and I've never seen one with a red glowing nose.
Yeah, that's because somebody else hunted it before you. You're a second-rate
Sorry,
hunter.
you're right.
First come,
No,
first serve, as they say in China.
no, I think
As they
that
say before
Santa.
they proceed to eat the pet.
I think
Sorry?
that Santa puts those little elves to
Don't worry
work
about it.
more than he lets on. You see, in our modern world, there's only so much you can get away with workers and exploitation stuff, and that applies to Santa too, obviously, because ethical business practices are the soul of development. So I think that Santa's actually been, because obviously Santa's not running a sustainable business. He's giving toys to hundreds of millions of kids every year, and they don't pay him for it,
But think
right? So
about the money he gets from the hats he sells every year. Think about how many people buy his hat. It's a trademark sign of him. He must have to mark that up really high.
well, that's a good point, but you have to think about how those are at the dollar store and how he still needs to pay for the workers to make that, obviously, because it's hard to get, obviously, energy to the North Pole to make the hats to then ship them, and there's not much shipping at the North Pole either. And then also, you have to
Yeah.
kill a ton of polar bears to get the fur for those things, so that doesn't work. But
Well,
I
polar bears
think
are already dying.
He just finds
What's
where.
a few more?
they
Yeah.
practically poach themselves these days. Am I right?
Exactly. Like, just learn to not live on ice that's melting, bozos.
And the thing is, like, it brings up a conversation of how does he get all the snow around?
The snow?
Think about it. Part of the Christmas and winter trademark is how much snow there is. I mean, we just talked about why the Christians chose it to be in the winter because it fit in with their other traditions. So, but like with that, how would he have transported all the snow around?
Do you think that, like in countries on or very near the equator, that Santa is depicted in like a tank top or short sleeve shirt rather than the large puffy fur coat it's depicted in? But countries that are farther from the equator,
Maybe
such as America,
swimsuit, like a full suit.
like a shirtless Santa with just swim trunks.
No, like, do you know what a swimsuit is?
I
Yeah,
am aware of what a swimsuit is.
I do know as well.
It
Uh,
covers your whole body.
well,
What?
I'm gonna
If you mind
disagree with
me
that.
giving my
Search up
input on
Are you
this,
swimsuit and
thinking about a wetsuit? Because a wetsuit and a swimsuit are different. Wetsuits cover your whole body except for your hands, feet, and neck and head.
how does he
Wetsuit's
give
different from a swimsuit.
presents? How
you're
does he
right.
deliver
I'm thinking about
presents
what?
to Atlantis?
It's like, have you ever seen a Bond movie where his car turns into a submarine? I
Yeah, yeah.
think that happens with the sleigh, and the reindeer turn into like swordfish.
Turn
You
into
know?
water here.
Yeah, swordfish, so we can move quickly underwater because swordfish are quite fast fish.
I guess. I think that there's a lot going on in the North Pole that the world at large doesn't know about or just doesn't care about because they're getting free stuff. Like, think about this. So, sleigh, Sleigh or something like that, sounds awfully
Yes.
similar to slave, which, if you think about it, is probably the elves. So you have the slaves, and you can hit the slaves with the sleigh to slay them if they don't do the work for you. So I think that the sleigh is actually a symbol of power within the North Pole, and Santa's obviously sitting on top of the sleigh. And if the sleigh's like pretty high up in the hierarchy, that would mean that Santa's on the top. And I think that this is further backed up by the fact that the sleigh's red, because red's obviously an intimidating color. So maybe the sleigh is intentionally designed to give subliminal messaging to his elf slaves that he's not to be messed with and he's the one on top. So
Well, what if his elves like working? You know, I've never. I don't think you could do something as effectively as those elves if you don't truly love what you're doing. And I recently have been watching the hit show True and the Rainbow Kingdom. And in that show, there's this race of insect-like creatures who are just about the size of a fist, and they're white, like pale paper white, and they walk around. They're called little helpers, and they walk around and build bridges and clean up houses and stuff.
You
So
think this is
maybe the elves are kind of like that because those little helpers, they're kind of not only are they born to help, they kind of enjoy helping. If you don't, one of the episodes actually explored this, right? Where True's cat, Bartleby, right? He was given a bunch of these little helpers inside his household, and his household is quite small. So, but these little helpers, they always want something to do. So he would assign them to do something. They'd finish it in a snap of a finger, and they'd ask for something else. And it started to the point where he would ask them to dirty his house just so that they can clean it again. They live to work. Their entire enjoyment comes from working. So maybe that's kind of what the elves are, like a race which enjoys work.
you
yeah, but
sound oh, I've something really quick to say. You sound like someone trying, like a sweatshop owner trying to explain their business to the UN. That's what you sound like right now. They're born to work. They're great at it. And I would also like to add that
Yeah, but except when
slaves were quite effective at picking cotton.
the little
So
helpers are
they
so
could still
small.
be effective at work they don't want to do, right? It's really the matter of whip or no whip.
that's the question.
I think it comes down to it.
The
It's
thing is,
like
in
to
the
be or
show,
not
there
to
are
be.
no.
Whip or to not get whipped.
That is the
Oh,
question.
That is the
I see
question.
what you mean, but like, I feel like if I was doing something that I didn't enjoy doing, I would do as little of it as I could. But these little helpers, like, they actively finish what they're doing as fast as they can and then ask for more to do.
Yeah,
I
But
don't.
but
see, continue.
are the
It.
helpers born to work or are they conditioned to work at birth? It's kind of like the age old question of are monsters born or made, obviously. Are the little helpers born or are they made, Yusuf? That's the main question.
Well, in a sense, they're kind of both. Made first, though, if we're talking about a fetus in a womb. So technically, made inside of the womb, and then later on, it's born. So technically, monsters, for that how you may, are made and born.
Well, it kind of brings up a discussion. I never noticed any genders when it comes to the little helpers. And none of them ever seem to lay eggs or give birth. So I'm not all too confident. Maybe it's like because they're so small, they can just reproduce, like as a cell, just kind of duplicate,
Like cell division.
like cell division.
Shout out to science class.
Shout out
to science
to the
class.
big, shout out to the big Aguilera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
indeed.
But, well, we see over and over again in modern culture the use of what
I
are
think
they
he's
called?
stuck.
Little helpers?
Yeah,
Little helpers
Children.
being. Yes, children. Little
Yeah.
helpers being used in the media as a means to an end. Obviously, they're in the North Pole. And then, obviously, they're in whatever crap you're talking about, Yusuf. I don't know what you were smoking when you had that one in your head. But then there's also the Oompa Loompas in Willy Wonka, who, might I say, were kidnapped from their village and forced to work. Much like how the Triangle Trade Route functioned back in the good old days. Maybe not the good, maybe not the good old days. Maybe not the good old days. Just the old
but the
days.
old days.
The old
I'd
days
say
for
they were
sure.
the good old days.
Then obviously we see Timu factories and the Shin factory. And then at the same time we see a hatred towards people who employ children, and obviously it happens in like cobalt mines and cocoa and all that too. But
And
if
then
it's so bad, why does it feel so good to do it?
it's kind of like that age-old saying, "Wish we could turn back time
The
to
good
the
old.
old day." No, I'm not gonna say that.
Oh, okay.
To the old days.
Yusuf, didn't
Well,
like Middle Eastern people have a long history of being enslaved?
Yes, this is true.
they
So
did
in
have
the
a
good
long
old
history of
days,
actually enslaving white people. Did you know that?
Yusuf,
Do you know the
apologize.
Yeah, apologize to us now.
Apologize.
for what?
For
Enslaving
your
our
skin color,
ancestors.
obviously.
What?
Apologize on
That
behalf of all
sounds
Middle
racist,
Eastern
but in the
people.
context, it fits.
Noah
Man,
is saying that I should apologize for my skin color, but I have no clue what Cooper is saying.
You need to apologize on behalf of the Middle Eastern community for enslaving white people.
That's not true.
that is
Noah
true.
said it was true.
It was Middle East. I said Middle. You said you asked if Middle Eastern people had a long history of being enslaved, and I
Yeah, and
said
I
yeah.
said, and I said, fun fact: Middle Eastern people actually used to enslave white people back in the good old days.
To the good old day. Anywho, well, if you really want to bring up this discussion of history, do you know that the pyramids of Egypt were built through slavery?
Yeah, I was
Like
thinking
it's
that.
part of
Well,
it is
that
a
is a
question
very
of
common theory, but there's no confirmed method in which the pyramids were built upon. But then
Alien
again, slavery
slavery.
is a very, very viable theory.
okay. Neil deGrasse Tyson once said that if you gave him 1,000 slaves and 100 years, he could build anything. Think about it like that. If you had 1,000 slaves and 100 years, don't you think you would have been able to build those pyramids?
No, I need more than 100 years because if I had 1,000 slaves, they'd be busy building toys so I could send them across the world for me.
Exactly.
So it was obviously aliens.
if I had 1,000 slaves, I'd make them build smartphones rather than pyramids, because that's got to be worth more. Imagine 1,000 slaves nonstop making iPhones for 100 years. I think that'd make more. That'd make you more money than like a bunch of stupid pyramids.
Yeah, but if I had 1,000 slaves, I'd put them in a room together so that they could breed, and then make me 2,000 slaves.
That's
I,
assuming.
I'd invest them. And then
It's got
And now,
compound
if 2,000
interest.
slaves, half of them could make toys for me, and the children ones could build iPhones.
they compound every 9 months.
As
It's
their
crazy.
delicate hands.
Compound.
Formula sheet.
Well, before this video gets taken down, let's try to get back on track. Now,
I kind of want to hear what Noah had to say, real quick.
oh, go ahead, Noah.
I've had so much to say and I've forgotten all of it.
Can you show us your sweater, by the way, when you get the chance?
Oh yes, when they told me that. Oh, when they told me that. Oh man, let me fix my camera real quickly. I wanted to give the illusion that I was outside,
Put it up
and
to
I
the
know
camera.
it. I know it was very convincing that I was outside. I mean, look at the super realistic skyline, but you're gonna have to see my real room. Or can I just no? We'll just. This is my room, obviously, and I decided to go with the Grinch sweatshirt.
The man at the top,
Yep.
big
And I'll
green.
turn on a light so you can see it even better.
Oh, wow. So why the hell do you own that?
Family thing for a Christmas get together, and they told me to wear an ugly sweater, and so I got this thing at
You wore a
Walmart last second.
beautiful man on it.
Thank you, Yusuf. It means a lot coming from you. I know you don't just give those out.
I didn't say a beautiful man in it. I said a beautiful man on it.
Okay.
Don't get it wrong.
I see you like him, Harry.
Well, I see you like young, but I feel like
My name isn't Drake.
well,
see
I guess
dead
it seems
people.
like you're trying to strike a chord, and it's
Probably.
Well, don't get this copyrighted.
anywho. Now, I mean, it's true that the Oompa Loompas were enslaved and forced into the work, but
You think Trump's an Oompa Loompa? Like, think
why
about it, right?
hell
Like, what if he's just a really tall Oompa Loompa that dyed his hair? And that's why his hair looks so weird and his skin is orange, right? He's just like, have you ever seen the movie Elf? Where he's not, at the beginning, he thinks he's an elf, but just an unnaturally tall elf, even though we find out later he's not a real elf.
That
You
wasn't
think that happened
obvious.
with Trump? Yeah. You think with Trump, he was a natural Oompa Loompa, but then he kind of just was abnormally tall and eventually dyed his hair so people wouldn't think he's an Oompa Loompa and then ran for president
My
after
My
getting
fellow
billions of dollars
Americans,
in
I
real
have
estate.
I know what hard work is. I've worked at the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for so many years, I tell you, so many years. And he would do horrible things to me too. He'd give me not slurpees. He'd give me swirlies in the chocolate river, and he'd drown kids too. It was honestly disgraceful. And then I ran for president of the Oompa Loompa village, and they told me, would you rather stand on a sinking ship with a 12-volt battery and get electrocuted, or jump off to a shark away from the battery?
A 12-volt battery in the water. It means, are we talking about an ocean? Because I would just jump away from the battery, not in the direction of the shark. Because by the time the current gets away from me, as long as I'm a good distance away, it's going to be too low voltage to do any damage. Also, I'd like to add,
Go ahead.
Okay, no, hold up. Donald Trump, the other day, Donald said this, and I quote, he was saying it as like a rhetorical question. He says, water goes over the battery. The boat is sinking. Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted, or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Now, he said this to somebody, and he asked them this question. They said, I don't know what to say to that. I've never heard, nobody's ever asked me that before. And Trump just acts like everybody's been asked this question before. Like it's a...
Okay, think about this. The real question is, what type of shark is it? Like, because if it's like a bull shark or a tiger shark, I'm taking my chances with the battery. If
What
it's
if
like
it's
a
a...
nursery shark,
Reindeer
if
who
it's
turned.
like a nursery shark or something like it, lantern shark, even better, I'm gonna jump near the lantern or nursery shark.
I think it's a really
I feel
big...
like everyone would have that response, to be
I
honest
think
with you.
it's a
I think that would
big American shark.
really. Hold on, let me turn on my light so there's not a massive dark side on the side of my screen.
Alright. I think it's a very great white shark. And it's forging business records and screwing porn stars. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
It's a great white shark. Well, I guess, and then my next question would be, when was the last time the great white shark ate? An even better question, is it hungry? Because
You can never.
though it is true that white sharks do attack people, they typically do it because there's no other food nearby or the person has provoked it in some way. So I would just not provoke it, not look like a seal, not splash around a lot, and hope it's not hungry. If it was a white shark.
You're
Why
not
would
going to be able to.
you-
Go ahead.
Do you think it'd be hard for Trump to not look like a seal?
Well, I
he
was
has
gonna
the-
say.
he has the blubber. Do you remember when he weighed himself and he was, because people were saying he was obese, and he weighed himself and he was 1 pound below the obesity level, and he's like, I am not obese. I've never been obese in my life. Big Macs eat me and they get bigger. I don't know what you're on about.
Big Macs eat me.
I don't eat Big Macs. The only thing I eat out. I don't eat out often, but when I do, it's Stormy Daniels. I
think if we want to talk about weight, I don't think weight corresponds to obesity. Because, for example, I'm 200 pounds, but that's 200 pounds of pure muscle.
Proof?
I would take off
Take
my
off your
shirt.
shirt.
It's a little cold.
Rip.
It's cold.
Uses.
And that's kind of the same thing with like Queso. He's just it's all muscle, so you can't call him fat or obese.
You mean Mexican terrorist El Queso?
Exactly.
Who lives in El Qdoba.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's a few of them.
Well,
It's a
you-
franchise company. There's a couple locations across the U.S.
They're actually and this is just a hint to all Feta-Zeta male viewers. Every single Qdoba Mexican restaurant you see is actually just a drug front for El Queso and his accomplice El Qdoba. And Senorita
You know
Taco
that-
Bell.
They have so much drugs that white jasmine rice they serve is made of cocaine.
You ask if they have Coke there and they give you cocaine, not Coca-Cola. What the hell's this? You forgot to mix
You
the
ask-
sugar in.
You ask them if they have some of the Henny in, and they give you it.
The what?
You ask them if they have some Coke, and they ask you if you'd prefer to have some Henny. But anyways,
Wasn't this about Christmas?
It's always about
You-
Christmas because there's white powder at Qdoba and white powder around Christmas. Speaking of that, how
I
does
see.
Santa get the snow everywhere? We never answered that.
Well, you see, I think it has something to do with the atmosphere.
but if he flew up that high, he'd drown. But the point is, right? what I'm thinking about that comparison Noah made about the elf movie. The elf guy he's a human, but he's conditioned to like work. He's conditioned to be really fast when it comes to work. He's conditioned to enjoying having objectives and things to do. So it kind of, I guess, if we want to talk about that example Cooper brought up of are monsters born or made, it may be possible that these little helpers are made. They're not born to like work. They're made to like work.
I actually wouldn't say that because there's a certain scene in the movie in which after he has made pasta and put a bunch of sugar and syrup all over it, which I did try once. I did pour syrup on spaghetti once at a family reunion. Everyone looked at me very oddly. Funny thing was, it was syrup from my grandmother's house, and so that has been expired since 1890. And
The
so
revolutionary syrup.
it was. I'm not making this up. It expired for like 20 years. I'm not kidding. Um, and it wasn't great. I'd have to say that either that was just the fact that it was maple syrup on spaghetti, or that it was expired maple syrup on spaghetti. But
Why
he
did you do
did
that?
just sit there and eat, and then he got afraid of the. Oh, hold on.
What? Okay.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, you can't see me like this.
He had to do his what's it called? Burial. His burial timer went off.
Be real.
But but
Hold
anywho,
up.
what? You want me to stop?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking about that syrup example, and that expired syrup example. The other day, I was actually at a place, right? And at this place, what? His parents, what? His, pa- his parents just came in. Ew.
What are you talking about, Noah?
Well, anywho, whatever. Well, anywho, if Noah's parents are in here, he was showing us his it, and by it, let's just say his peanuts. But any,
He's
I was thinking about that.
Whoa, hold up 1 second.
Mom, did you just? Well, it looks like I'm all alone, so I better show off my.
I'm still here.
So I better show off my. What's her name? Eleanor. Eleanor. Explorer and Eleanor towel, which I just used to wipe down the table that was wet from the rain. You know, I would recommend them. I actually found it at the dollar store, right? And they were selling them. They were really crumpled up when they were selling them, but Cooper, where's the recording at right now?
I don't know.
Can you check real quick?
I can't.
You sure there's no way you could check right now?
We are at 34
I
minutes.
I just have to remain really quiet.
Noah, we plan to go for about 30 more minutes.
That should be fine. I'm just gonna keep the lights off for a dramatic effect, even though I don't need to do this.
Sure.
So, anywho, right, what I was.
What I was trying to say, so everyone over there can hear me.
I have headphones on.
Damn it.
Well,
He's too smart.
I was thinking about that expired syrup example
Yes, I'm-
and thinking about how to get workers to like work, maybe how to get people to like work. And the other day, I was at a place, right? And they had some C4, the drink, of course.
Yeah. And you had some C4, the drink.
Not the
Of
drink.
course.
And there's C4, right? I had some and I really liked it. But I imagine it was purely because of the flavor. But one of the people who was there, and actually met him there, right? It was my first time meeting him, and we got along quite well. But he picked up one of the bottles, and I was like, "Hey, you should probably check the expiration date on that." And he checked the expiration date, and it expired in 2008, and that was the year I was born. That C4 was around as long as I was around in 2008. But
Say
we were,
happy birthday, Yusuf.
you're a little late. Genshin told me happy birthday first.
No, yeah, but it became your birthday an hour and 15 minutes ago.
I know. Thank you. As I was saying,
Yeah. So
we were there.
Happy birthday, Yusuf.
Happy
I think we
big
should sing.
day.
I think we should sing.
I think I should sing really quietly.
I agree. Let me stand up for this.
Whenever I have a birthday and we go to a restaurant, I always point at my brother and tell them they're looking at the wrong person when they sing for me.
Whenever I
Alright,
have a
we're
birthday and we go
all-
to the restaurant, I invite you guys and you guys stuff sausages in your mouth at Olive Garden and record the whole thing.
I'm really disappointed that Jake didn't invite us to his birthday. I was really looking forward to it.
Well, I think it's time we sing, everyone. Not you, Yusuf.
My bad.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Yusuf. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Are you gonna do the Christmas jingle?
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
No, the one
Robin
that-
laid an egg. Batmobile lost a wheel and Joker got away. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
It's Robin laid an egg, Batman smells, something like that. Well, no, there's one song that I know. It goes like "Happy Birthday to you," and then it's like "Ding a ding a ding a ding, ba dong dong dong." I don't wanna laugh for Christmas.
Christmas, there is just one thing I need, and I
He's got this song again.
This actually just came to my mind because I watched it the other day. But do you guys know Dan Henschel?
Yeah.
No.
So
You
he's
actually
this-
Oh yeah, I do. My bad. I do definitely.
Yeah. Did you guys see the video where he talked about how he went to his friend's wedding, and as a joke,
I don't believe I've seen this one.
as a joke, he brought a live grenade that was his grandfather's who fought in World War II on the side of the Nazis, and it had a certain inscription on the side. And when him and his friend were younger, the friend who was getting married, they used to do this game where they'd throw the grenade around and pretend to be terrorists, because this was right after 9/11. So he thought that it would be funny if at the wedding he throws the grenade to like for nostalgia. But the thing he did differently this time, when he threw the grenade right as they were like doing their vows, he throws the grenade. What he did differently was he pulled the pin, and he didn't think it was still active. So he throws the grenade up at them and says Allah Akbar during the wedding, and then the grenade explodes and sends shrapnel everywhere. And then during the chaos, he turns to like the old people next to him attending the wedding, and he says, "What just happened?" In like an attempt to sound like he wasn't the one who threw it, so he'd have witnesses, and he injured like 20 people.
That sounds like something I do. I'll keep that in mind for when you
Yeah.
guys get married. Or
I
if.
wonder why you'll do that. No other
Except
outside factors exist.
instead bring a really big vest and accidentally pull a strap.
Headbands.
So
You'll
Yusuf, I
pull a
found
Luke at Edelman. Once they find you guilty, you'll be like, Your Honor, I respect this decision, but consider this: I have a bomb.
I found a certain video the other day, Yusuf. I'll have to send it to you later. I'm not going to bring it up right now.
All right.
It was bad enough that we had to unlist it on the O5 channel.
I don't know what you're talking about. We have a lot of unlisted things on the O5 channel, like Sly Cooper.
Yeah, but this one started public.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But the thing about that C4, right, is me and my brother were there.
My brother and I.
Were there to work. And while we were over there, right, my brother noticed that C4 was actually an energy drink. And after he drank 1 cup of it, he finished all the work we had for the day in half a second. And while we were still there, he took one. He was like, "Glug, glug, glug, glug." And you know what? I'll take one for the road. So he took one for the road, but he drank it on the spot. And then said by that he meant that he was going to run the road with the C4. And then he proceeded to run back to our house. Faster than a car ever could.
Well, especially since cars can't run.
Yes, they can. Is your car not running, Noah?
You not get the joke. So
We
you
better
ran
look at
home faster than any car could ever. It's because cars can't run.
Noah, is your car running?
I don't have a car.
Oh, you better
It's my
go
mom's
bitch it.
car. I literally said I don't have a car.
Oh, you better. Anywho, I'll be right back, guys. I need to take a call. Hello? Is this the deporting agency?
Ooh.
Yes, I'd like to get a one-way flight now.
Well, so
Looks like
That-
the IC finally got to him.
so that happened. Listen, Noah, usually he gets deported only for a little while. So for real, I have no clue how long he'll be deported for. But let's talk a little. Now that the Muslim is...
Oh, whoa, that's right.
What were you about to say?
You lit me up like a Christmas tree.
You light me up like a C4.
And he means the drink.
You light me up
Hoping they-
like that one grenade.
We hoping to get C4s in our stockings this year. Hashtag Muslim Christmas.
Golden C4s.
Yeah, gold. We'll run so fast.
And instead of a Christmas turkey, you have a Christmas ham.
There's no better way to run to the Kaaba than to have so many C4s.
Than to be have a vest strapped with C4s.
Oh yeah. So
If
Noah,
you turn on your camera, your profile picture is really white, as seen by this.
yeah, I agree.
I'll put it in my camera in a second.
So going off of this whole thing of slavery, let's circle back around. I liked what we did in the last podcast episode, the Halloween one. If you haven't watched it, I'll link it in the iCard. Maybe I won't. I have to find this specific spot in the video to do that. But it'll be in the description. We also have a whole playlist I made for all 2 of these episodes. But so let's go back to kind of a stories kind of thing.
Releasing in 2035.
2035, yeah. So, Noah, what's some Christmas traditions or fun Christmas stories from your family?
So there's this one tradition. I've never heard of any other family doing this. And so basically, we wake up Christmas Day, and then they'll magically just be presents under this tree. We drag into our living room and decorate with like lights and hanging ornaments of sorts.
Hmm.
And then we open those presents for about 20 minutes because we're poor. And then we go off on our own for the rest of the year.
Wow. I've never heard of any family doing that before. You were right.
Yeah, I think we're the first, but I hopefully this podcast sparks some more similar traditions to that. So if I see someone doing that this year, then I will know that this podcast really got to them.
You'll know that they're a fan.
Podcast?
Yeah.
Hey, everyone listening right now, if you see your friends open, if you hear or see your friends opening presents on Christmas Day, just know that they're a fan of this podcast and that we will be releasing merchandise. And maybe a good Christmas gift for that friend would be some Feta-Zeta Mill podcast merch. Good, Noah, you're getting to them.
I would
I hope so.
figure together, but I gotta use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Turn on your camera.
Alright.
What?
Bring us
Nothing?
with you.
Show the
Be right
viewers.
back.
Alright, so now that the Muslim is gone, we can talk freely.
Finally.
So, are you comfortable discussing your heritage?
Sure.
So, you're one of the, German types, right?
I hope by that you mean respectable soldier
Yes.
post World War II era.
Post World War II era.
Mhm.
Hey, I mean, no, man, I did not mean to say that. It's way too early. I mean, what do our soldiers say? Like salute? No, that's what this is.
Yeah, I am German and I fight in wars.
Exactly.
That's what
So
they
you have
say.
German heritage. So, are there any like specifically German traditions that you follow around the holiday season?
No, not really, considering that a lot of Christian holidays are very close to German holidays. Fun fact, actually, the first recorded history of Christmas trees was recorded in Germany. So some people would even take like um, wood and make triangles out of it, then decorate the giant triangles.
So, what was the point of the triangle? It's like the Pentagon.
To represent a tree, I'd assume.
Why couldn't they just get a tree?
Not the pentagon, especially since the pentagon and a triangle are different shapes. That'd be pretty poor representation, especially since in the era they were doing this was significantly earlier than even America was a country.
Yeah, what about
So there couldn't have been a pentagon per se. I mean, the shape existed, of course, but the place you're referring to wouldn't have at the time.
what do you
So it could
know
be
about the Baba Yaga?
I know that it's Russian, and it refers
Oh,
to
my
a
bad.
witch.
I thought it was German.
More.
Oh, it
No,
is
it's
Russian.
Russian.
I'm remembering now. It's
Russian.
Russian. Forget I said anything.
I know.
What do you know
Okay.
about hiding? What do you know about Krampus and hiding pickles in trees?
What do I know about Krampus? Hiding pickles in trees. I've never heard about that before. Again, I'm American. My heritage is German. I've never even been to Germany. I was born in Germany. I'm American all the way, baby.
Yeah. So tell me more about
1776
this.
is my favorite number.
Tell me more about this Krampus guy. 1776
Krampus.
is my favorite number too.
Because that's how many views they should get. And by 1776, I mean 7.76 million.
Billion. Think bigger.
Trillion. I think 3.14159 raised to the power 10.
I like that number. Our viewers
Anyway,
should watch as religiously as these holidays are.
this should be what you open your presents to come Christmas morning.
I agree.
Seeing as you've watched the video before and knew of that tradition from my
If
family.
if you hear something in this episode that doesn't make sense, come back on Christmas Day with your whole family in the living room and it'll all make sense, I promise.
Just ignore the first couple parts where we were a bit racist.
Ignore the part where I almost did a certain salute while I was confused. I swear. It's 1:30 in the morning, so I'm a little off my, as they'd say in the good old days, off my rocker. Tell me about Krampus.
Krampus, you could probably learn more from a quick Google search, but I know he's viewed differently in different parts of Germany. He's got a couple adaptations, but he's, I believe, originally a German tradition. I know some places, to bad children, he would stuff them in his sack and beat them with a stick. That's one of the tales that I've heard about Krampus. I don't know much more about him other than he's a goat-like humanoid, I suppose is the best way I can put that in words.
He's a goat man.
Sure, yeah, goat man works.
Did he happen to have a bridge? I'm getting some like crazy synapses firing in my bronchulus right now, as we call it in Bajukiland. About our previous episode in which we talked about the creation of the goat man and how he fiercely protects his bridge.
Oh, okay. I didn't make it that far. The last one. I had to turn it off because my brain was melting. Let's just say, metaphorically, of course.
Well, the thing is, if we want to talk about Krampus, Cooper, was it with you I played that Krampus Rec Room game?
It was.
There was a long time ago when me and Cooper actually were
Cooper and
first-time
I.
victims of Krampus. He kidnapped us and tortured us and showed us his big lava pit and stuff. And then he showed us his
You
house.
said something else. I didn't think you were gonna say lava pit.
His big black sack where the kids come from.
Along with his big black stick in which he beats things with.
We never got to that part of the game. It just kind of...
Yeah.
The game lightly skipped over that. But I remember taking pictures on the top of his big black house.
The BBH.
Yeah. And you know, I just noticed...
Go on.
I just noticed I'm working on my birthday, and I guess this is what a 669 does to you. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., 9 days a week.
You mean the 996?
669.
About the second week.
What?
What happens on the second week? Because it spills over into a new week. You said 9 days a week, but there's only 7 days a week.
I'm just so Sigma. I work 9 days a week.
You're not Sigma. You're a Feta-Zeta male.
Exactly, that's what I meant to say.
OnlyFans is a rough business.
You only sell fans? And you make that much money? That's impressive.
He makes like he
Sign
doesn't
me
make
up.
that much.
Only selling fans, you make that much money.
Where can I sell my fans? The triangle trade?
Here's how I made $1 million with OnlyFans in a month. So I started by selling OnlyFans for a month. It was really hot outside, so lots of
Without
people
your
bought
fans.
my fans.
Dad, is it alright if I move out, Dad? I've been working really hard, and now I'm in a really prestigious job, and I think I can finally move out.
Are you
What are you working? I don't think you want to know, but it's really prestigious, I'll tell you. You sure? I really want to know. Well, let's just say I work in selling fans. Hmm, where can I see your website? Where you sell? Anywho,
the real question is, Yusuf, are you working hard or are you working hard?
Or hardly working.
Hmm.
no, no, Noah said it right.
No,
I'm working hard.
working hard or working hard?
You know, what time I said that to a school staff member, and I don't think he picked up what I was saying. I said, "Hey, are you all working hard or working hard, Tony?" And he told me, "Oh, I'm hardly working." I don't think he picked up what I was putting down.
This is light work.
You didn't pay enough attention. You didn't analyze your speech.
Exactly.
So, Yusuf, as a Muslim who doesn't celebrate Christmas on a podcast about Christmas, what do you like think about Christmas?
Celebrate Christmas.
You celebrate Christmas? I could have sworn you said you didn't. Okay,
One time,
what do you do to celebrate Christmas?
well, what we like to do every Christmas time is me and my family. I don't think anyone else
My
does it.
family and I.
We like to get together in the family living room, and we take our shirts off and have a brawl to see who wins.
Hey, if
Right?
any of your I don't know any families do this. If any of your friends take off their shirts and do a brawl to see who wins on Christmas, that's how you know that they're a fan of the podcast and that they're subscribed. And once we release our merch, it'll be great to, maybe buy them some as a Christmas gift. Remember, we're friendly tyrants. We're incredible salesmen, and you want to buy our products because you're supporting us directly and catering to the wants of your friends. So I'm contractually obligated to do that. So continue.
Anywho, after we see who wins, right, we put the fainted out bodies on the couch as if they're still there, and we watch
Yeah.
our favorite Christmas movie ever on Netflix, Claus.
I've seen that movie.
I know, but that's about it.
Do
That's
you
not
open
really interesting.
Do you like open anything?
Like chests, maybe. And by that I mean like take off our clothes, but it's nothing
Uh,
else.
we open our wardrobes.
To put our clothes away.
After
Yusuf,
we
I'm
get
gonna have to
robbed.
say that the wall decorations to your right really bodes well for this whole I celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
No, what do you mean? It's just a moon and a sun. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, silly me.
You're being ridiculous, Noah.
You
Yeah,
should see
I'm
the wall
projecting.
decorations way to my right.
Wait, is that Jerusalem?
No, I don't think so.
Show me it again.
Sure. I don't believe it's Jerusalem.
I love how you hold it there for like 3 seconds.
Jerusalem isn't the only one that looks like that. There's like 10 that look like that.
Why do they care so
Are
much
they
about
all?
just Jerusalem then?
Because Jerusalem was the one before the journey to Kaaba.
Oh.
Journeying to Kaaba. I stand with the sorceress Karaba. Karaba did nothing wrong.
Except for what she did to Kirikou.
Hello, yes, I'd like to phone the authorities. We have a certified Karaba hater among us. Yeah, there's only 3 people here.
and I'm one of them. Oh, what's that? Oh, no. Oh, how sad. I've just got the news that on my walkie-talkie here that one of you hates Caraba, the sorceress.
It's getting hot in here or what?
It's not, Noah. It's not.
Well, how would you know where?
It's not.
Oh, I'll trust you on that.
Yeah, you can trust me. You can trust me when I say that we're going to find this imposter by the end of the episode.
Cooper, what do you do for Christmas?
I'm gonna
What
mute
I
real
do for
quick.
Christmas. Oh, now after all this comes out, after all the Caraba stuff, he's like, I'm going to
What
mute.
is Caraba?
It's not related. I love Caraba with my heart.
He's muted, so we can't hear
Riku and the Sorcerers. That's like goofy looking lady.
him. Wait till he sees that she's nude.
Oh my goodness, she's nude. Oh, get me off images.
Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. She was nude.
Did you make me? What is this? What are you even talking? 1998 fantasy adventure. 1 hour, 14 minutes. Characters.
He figured it out.
Feta-Zeta, Black and Forth, Caraba. That's. Okay. I guess I got it.
He knows too much. Anyways,
Who
I
knows too
believe
much?
you were. Oh, yeah, you were muted. We were talking about something else.
Yeah, I had to.
You don't need to tell
Continue.
us anything. We understand,
Continue.
Noah.
Okay, yeah.
So, you're asking what I do for Christmas in my family?
You were asking Noah. I think he means to say yes.
Wait, you guys talking to me?
Yes.
Oh. Yes.
Oh, thanks for asking. For Christmas, I do some stuff you've never heard of, such as opening presents with my family. However, oh yeah, I'm a fan of the Feta-Zeta podcast. I actually know the dudes who make it. But, not only that, but we do some other stuff as build up to that. For one, sometimes we do a fondue dinner with more of the extended family, but we haven't done that in a while because it's a lot of effort, and apparently it wasn't worth it, so nobody wants to host it. So I don't really do that anymore.
But
then
was it chocolate fondue or cheese fondue?
It was both. It was both.
At the same time?
No, you clean out the pots and then have the other one, and the pots clean very easily because it's all molten food.
Well, I wouldn't use the term molten to describe liquefied food, even then it's very viscous, even then, for a liquid. Because molten refers to liquefied rock. I don't classify chocolate or cheese as a
No.
Well, according to Vsauce, ice being a naturally occurring structure, water is lava. It's molten.
Yes.
Well, I actually.
Well, if you want to get very technical details into it, because I have seen that video, and it's one of my favorite videos by Sauce, as you said.
Isn't it okay if I mute myself real quick?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
You see, I actually know I know the guy. So you know those little milk chocolate bunnies that you'll see around the holidays?
I don't know about you, but mine aren't little.
Well, I can tell you why. So they're those hollow bunnies that you'll get around Easter time when your grandma sends you something and you're like, oh, this is delicious. and then you eat
Thank you.
up
The
the
memories
bunny.
are flowing back now. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually know the guy who makes those, and the way they do it is they pour. They don't have a mold because this is like a family business, and they've been doing this for generations. They're like the original chocolate Easter bunny makers. So
Are
what
they
they
the
do?
Werther's original?
Sorry.
Germa joke.
Oh, I wouldn't get that. I'm not German.
That's
But
not no.
shh, don't talk. Just tip. Be seen, not
Got
heard.
it. I won't.
Basically, hey, hey.
I'll be seen.
Oh crap! He's being reborn. He's a new man. Basically, I know the person who makes those, who like started making them, and they still make them how they used to. What they do is they have a bunny and they restrain it with obviously little licorice laces. It's like bondage, but for rabbits, they restrain the bunny with licorice laces, and then
What?
using
No, sorry. Say
fondue,
that one more time.
they they restrain the rabbits with bondage in the form of licorice laces.
What kind of
Okay,
licorice?
red.
Oh, that's a bad kind.
It's
It's
Twizzler
not even
specific.
technically licorice.
It's
Technically, licorice refers to black licorice, if you want to get technically, or technically red licorice, which is the more common. You know, when people say licorice in America, they think you say you're meaning red licorice or cherry licorice. But in other places of the world, you say licorice and they think you mean black licorice.
we do things differently in America. But these guys do
Oh
something
yeah.
really strange. So after they restrain the rabbits with the licorice, they pour, and I'm going to use this word despite your begging not to. They pour molten chocolate
Really
over the
big
live rabbit, and it's restrained so it can't do anything, so it sits there, and they're pouring all of this molten chocolate over it. And the whole time the rabbit is perfectly still, obviously, and that's how they get the cast.
Mhm.
And then what they do is they use a very strong acid that they develop. One sec. I think I'm good. They use a really strong acid that they developed, and they inject it into the rabbit. And what it does is it disintegrates the rabbit, kind of like what Thanos did in the at the end of Infinity War when he wiped out half the planet. And that's why the bunnies are hollow on the inside, and they just repeat that for every single chocolate rabbit they make. And that's why there's always
Mm.
a little hole where it looks like they would have injected something, but the chocolates are hollow anyways, so it doesn't make sense that they'd put something inside it. So
Why don't they just only feed the bunny chocolate, and then when it comes time, they strap it down and don't disintegrate the bunny? I mean, if you fed a bunny chocolate for like years, you know, what would happen to the bunny? Would it become chocolate, and then you just wouldn't have hollow chocolates? You wouldn't even
Because
need to
you are
coat it.
what you eat.
What if it would just become chocolate?
It's because you are what you eat. So if you fed it chocolate,
Exactly.
it would turn chocolate.
And this again goes to the Tilting Towers presentation. I mean, if you eat so many eggs, you become an egg, but a tall egg,
but what came
because of the
first?
nutrients from the eggs.
How does the Easter bunny lay eggs? Do they feed it eggs?
Why does the Easter bunny lay eggs? Why is it a bunny and lay eggs? It's a mammal. I mean, the only other mammal that lays eggs is the platypus.
What?
Platypuses lay eggs. I saw Perry do it once.
Yeah.
Easter bunny.
From that day forward, I became a man.
Ferb, I think I know that I'm a man. I thought Perry was a boy the whole time.
You know, I thought Jerry from Tom and Jerry was a guy.
He's not.
Well, there was one episode where both of them turned hairless, but on Tom, only his he only had fur around his underwear area, but Jerry had fur around his chest in the shape of balls, I would say. And for around his underwear area.
And so, what do you expect us to do with this information?
So it shocked me knowing that Jerry.
What if Jerry's just self-conscious, and so they shielded him up a little bit more.
Toxic femininity.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Let me see if I
But
can.
everyone,
I'll send you guys the photo and see if Cooper can show you guys
really
it later in editing. But this is the one I'm talking about.
I'm not editing, but I'll pull it up on my
I
phone.
I don't exactly see how this is a podcast, really, to be honest with you. This is more just like a really long talking video. It's like
That's a podcast.
I thought you meant the
video.
I thought you meant the cat was the girl.
And
No.
Jerry's the mouse. Tom's the cat.
Okay, I guess it's not toxic femininity, it's toxic masculinity. There's the image for all y'all YouTube viewers.
It's so dumb.
That's for the thumbnail. Somebody screenshot this right now.
I screenshotted it.
Awesome. Send it.
I sent it first.
I sent mine first.
No, I sent it first.
Yours still hasn't sent, Yusuf.
Yeah, you put it in images.
Oh.
Yeah. Where did you want me to put it?
This, yeah.
Alright, well that works. Anyhow. No, this is a podcast because we say it is Noah.
Makes sense. I got it. Sorry for ever doubting almighty Feta-Zeta male.
Why do you feel like it's not a podcast?
I don't know. This doesn't feel like a regular podcast. I don't know exactly why. It just doesn't feel right. Especially, it's probably the fact that Yusuf said we'll put it in during editing that made me feel like this isn't really a podcast.
We don't edit it. That was a joke.
We don't edit it.
Well, never mind then. This is definitely a podcast, and you should subscribe and show your friends.
Whenever we edit it in the year. Whenever we
And
edit
if you don't have any friends, get a life.
And remember, we will be releasing Feta-Zeta Male merch eventually, which will be the perfect Christmas gift for you and your friends. Why not treat yourself for the holidays? We're friendly tyrants, and you can trust us with your money. Send us your credit card information in the comments section. Not really, we can't say that legally. Send us your information and we will give you merch and dice. Merch and dice, they're two separate things.
You can be entered in our free raffle contest if you also
no, you
have
can't
your
say
social
that.
security
You can't say
number.
that. You can't say that.
For the next episode,
Sorry.
you can't. You're leaving
Fix it
early.
in the editing.
You're off the team. We don't edit this.
God, I guess I'll go now.
No. Austin,
Damn.
How much do we have left?
Oh, he's back, thank God.
Why'd he come back?
Oh, welcome back, Noah.
Mission. I will never say that again in any other podcast.
You see,
I never.
It's not 3 a.m. yet, so you can't be promoting the gift card giveaways.
That's when YouTube turns their back.
Yeah.
Cooper, how much do we have left?
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll keep going till we feel like we've concluded. But anyways, I have more
Please.
holiday traditions.
Well, if my
have an-
parents come, you might see me get beat on camera.
Really?
All for the Feta-Zeta Male podcast.
What?
Can't wait
What's
to
this
meet
on?
you. No. So anyways, we have like an advent calendar and we put little things on the thing every day. Until Christmas. Well, until the 24th, actually.
Sounds like a normal calendar.
Hey, what do you know
An
about
advent
calendars?
calendar.
Aren't the Iraqis like 100 years behind right now or something?
Yeah, like it's like 600, but yeah.
Welcome to
China's ahead by a day.
1424.
Why didn't they warn us about 9/11?
The day I was born in the year 1424.
The Iraqis were actually super confused when we invaded them for this special military thingy because 9/11 hasn't happened yet for them. They're like, what are you doing? It's like the 1300s. 2001? What are you on about?
Men, get your muskets.
You guys in the
Get
future?
the slingshots.
Ooga booga do.
Okay, Noah. I'm a caveman and I did 9/11.
Guys, I was just a really bad pilot.
This is why we don't send cavemen to be pilots, because they don't know how to land.
Look, it's not my fault they didn't teach me how to land in piloting school. It's because I didn't show up to the classes.
They were held over Zoom and I was playing video games.
I was playing Flight
guys-
Simulator.
Is there any chance you guys can teach me how to fly a plane? But we're out the landing. Won't be needing.
Well, you see, I know how to land a plane, I just don't know how to fly it. Think you guys could teach me?
It's a tag team effort.
Oh, my friend's not lying. Oh, we can trust him. Let me tell you, I would
Imagine.
trust an Iraqi citizen any day of the week. Give this man his license.
Imagine
Christmas
getting
coming up.
hijacked. Imagine your plane being hijacked by someone who knows how to fly a plane. This feels really inconvenient.
I'm gonna get you all home
Imagine your
safely
car.
and then rob you.
Imagine your car getting stolen by someone who knows how to drive it away.
No, but that's normal. That's like normal. It's normal to know how to drive a car.
Yeah,
Why
it's
don't-
normal.
Why don't like? Why
Say
don't
that to the women in the Middle East.
I
Why
didn't hear
don't
what you said.
trains? Why don't trains get hijacked?
Watch it later.
That'd be cool, like in the Lego Movie video.
Because what if someone tried to hijack a train? They're like, oh,
I don't
better...
think trains hold anything really valuable nowadays.
No, they do. People
Like-
over on the East Coast actually rob trains. They hop in the back and they take stuff.
Yeah, and it's very valuable. Did you ever see that one Breaking Bad scene where they stole
Which-
stuff from a train?
No,
It was quite cool.
I have not.
I don't want to spoil anything for viewers who may have not seen it, but it's a good show. I would recommend.
Yeah, he knows
You
how
know,
to
I
make all the
started-
stuff from it.
What?
He knows how to make all the stuff from it. He's that big of
It's
a
not
fan.
true. It's not true.
You know,
I definitely don't sleep next to all my chemicals right there.
Definitely.
Definitely not. I like to make oxygen gas, so then I can scream at my neighbors, who needs trees now? And then I
Those are-
proceed to buy land in the Amazon rainforest and deforest it, turn it all into paper.
So that you can continue writing death threats on tape to rocks to throw through your neighbor's window.
And then when protesters show up to my house, I'm gonna gas them, but not with tear gas, not with chlorine gas, as some of you were thinking, with oxygen, and be like, guess what? I made this in my garage. Guess what? A tree cannot grow in my garage.
Apple started in a garage. Google started in a garage. Oh, and also,
Oh, air is now starting in a garage.
look at my haircut. I'm practically him. You don't know me.
Yeah, right.
The more smog in the sky, the more people will buy.
Oh, you're just brilliant. I love selling air to people. It's so lucrative.
Let's just
So,
say,
I
let
think
it
we-
die, let it die. Let it shrivel up and die.
Cooper, you should really check the clock. I think we've been going for 2 hours.
I don't think so.
Almost. No, not all. Like an hour and 20.
Yeah, about an hour and 30 minutes. Can you check?
No, a little under, I think. I'd estimate a little under an hour and 30.
A
90
little under an
minutes.
hour, you see.
We're under. We're under.
I haven't checked.
Underwear.
Okay. Whoa.
Sorry, guys, it turned black for a minute.
Oops.
Can't believe this.
We're actually at an hour 20. Noah was correct.
Well, my perception of time is spot on. It doesn't have to do with the fact that there's a clock at the bottom of my computer screen.
Well, anyways, guys, do we want to
We
wrap it
are
up? Do you
done.
guys have any-
I think we need to hear some closing remarks from a few people here.
Yeah.
Probably
I was gonna
about
ask if you guys had any
Christmas.
closing remarks.
It's about Christmas. Let's hear some.
Yeah. Yusuf, since you're so passionate and your family is so very passionate about Christmas, would you like to start us off with a few closing arguments?
I think the way we celebrate Christmas is the best. Arguably, it gets the whole family moving in the winter, and it teaches some of us our place in the hierarchy.
Yeah, so
I also think. Oh, fuck, we're
Does
at
your
the
little
bottom.
does your little sister beat you up on Christmas?
He has. It's not a wood. It's win. But anywho, I think that the way we celebrate Christmas is the best, and it's the Feta-Zeta way to celebrate Christmas.
Amen. Your turn, Noah.
However you celebrate the holidays, just know that however happy you are and there's certain ways you celebrate and however passionate you are in those different celebrations, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever the heck it is that left, just know there's only one right way to celebrate. And all other opinions are invalid.
Amen.
You know, I remember the time Mr. Oliver celebrated Christmas with us by talking about cavemen.
He did.
Amen.
Cavemen.
Amen.
Cavemen.
Can I get a amen? Caveman, whatever.
Amen.
Can I get a Bitcoin?
Wait, hold on.
Ethereum. What is that?
Here's a
Bill having his
Bitcoin
hand?
for you.
Thank you.
I
It's
thought
a real
Bitcoin
life
was
coin.
digital
I
this whole
promise.
time.
And if the viewers drop their social security number in the comments, they can get a free Bitcoin from the channel. They flip it over, so
It's not
a
free.
free
Yeah, you
Bitcoin.
can't do this yet, Noah.
203. There's a 3 in it. Doesn't
Oh, that's fair.
It's 3 somewhere.
real life Bitcoin. I mean, don't buy any of that digital stuff. That's too risky. Buy the real stuff. Physical in your hand, like gold. But this little coin is worth 70 grand. Trust me on that.
It's backed by the full
Drop
faith.
all your personal information in the comments below.
Backed by the full faith of the South Korean police department.
Yep.
Well, if I had any closing things to say about the holidays, I'd say that it's not actually about family or tradition or even about just celebrating your religion, but it's about the gifts. And this holiday season, the best gift that you can get your family and friends is Feta-Zeta Male Podcast merchandise, which we'll be releasing very soon. We're friendly tyrants. We know what is best for you. And we know that your friends and loved ones will love our merch even more than you love them. And they love us more than you, so listen to us. We know what's best for them, and we know what's best for our wallet. It's in our interest to extort you for as much money as possible in a humane and ethical way, unlike Santa Claus and the Oompa Loompas and probably most politicians do. So
And
consider
the little
checking
help.
out once we make it. We're gonna make it big soon, trust me. Once we make our merchandise, buy it for all your friends. And remember,
If it's not Feta, it's not
Amen.
Zeta.
amen.
Amen to that.
You know, whenever we release our merchandise in
The
the year
more
20,
money you spend on our merch, the better the economy will be. Just
Yes.
remember that.
Amen.
Amen.
or something else. Anywho, I think with
Shalom.
that all wrapped up, Noah, do you want to hit us off with the outro?
No.
Uh,
Do you want to then, Yusuf? Remember to thank our guest.
sure. Well, everyone, that was the third episode for the Feta-Zeta
Second.
podcast.
Second.
I can't count that high.
Come on, Yusuf, you're an
This was
HL
another
math.
episode of the Feta-Zeta podcast. I know you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I know I didn't enjoy it. I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. And be prepared to talk a little bit about Minecraft, maybe.
Mein Kampf.
Okay, this is why we're ending it here.
My bad. No, I heard wrong. I swear. There was a
Keep being
question mark at the end of
Feta-Zeta.
that.
Keep being a Feta-Zeta. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video. And with that all
Amen.
said, I think I'd like to hit you guys. Bye.
Thank you to our guest Noah for attending this recording session.
Thank you for forcing me at gunpoint to do this.
At guns
Spidey.
point.
That's why we had. That's why we had you turn off the lights. We didn't want them.
Exactly. That wasn't my parents. That was Michael the Enforcer.
Now, Noah, remember how much money you're making for the family by doing this. You can't stop now.
Yes.
Anywho.
I'm gonna end this how I started it, with some dry shampoo in my eyes. I'm taking these off.
He doesn't have the
I'm really
balls.
scared. I'm gonna close my eyes.
Get the Feta-Zeta male balls to do it.
Like, it's such a.
I bet if I massage it in, I can,
You know you're meant to wash shampoo out.
I don't think there's shampoo in my... I didn't take a shower today, I'll be so for real.
I'm gonna be so for real right now, Cooper. You're looking mighty attractive.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know, bae.
We gotta hit the podcast, the thumbnail looks real quick.
Oh.
Go on, hit the thumbnail pose.
When can we stop?
You can't.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We're gonna end it right there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, that's officially the end. We're cutting it right there.